Shopify Plus on their pricing page is insinuating that you don't need an agency if you choose their platform. Is Shopify stabbing their agency partners in the back with that claim? Well, some folks on social media sure think they are. I don't exactly agree, but I'd still be pretty mad about it. So pull yourself up a chair and let's talk about it. My name is TJ Gamble, and I'm the CEO and founder of Jamerson, an e-commerce agency dedicated to helping you get more from your e-commerce store. This topic was posted over on LinkedIn by Rachel Jacobs and brought to my attention when James Dinker tagged me in the comments. And I appreciate both of you sharing this, as I suck at coming up with topics for videos, and this seems like a good one to discuss. But before we get started, YouTube is telling me that 86% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed to this channel. Are you not entertained? Hit the subscribe button, man. Perhaps, if you deem this particular video worthy, you could also tap that like button and give me your thoughts on all of this mess in the comments. Sure would appreciate it. So what is all of this social media uproar about? Well, on Shopify Plus's pricing page, they have 4 bullet points under the heading, Do More for Less. And they mention that you can say goodbye to the ongoing cost of hosting and infrastructure, the time and cost of security patches, point releases, and upgrades, the last-minute stress of performance and load testing, and the retainer fees for consultants, system integrators, and developers. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? I mean, who wants to pay for that crap? Nobody. Nobody wants to pay for that crap. You may need those costs, but nobody actually wants them. Now, I think all of these are interesting in their own regards. So I'm going to touch on each of them individually. And we'll go through the first 3 real quickly, as it's the last one about retainer fees that's actually the topic of this video. Now, the first one, if a merchant uses Shopify Plus, they don't need to spend money on things like the ongoing cost of hosting and infrastructure. That makes sense, I guess. Although I'd argue that their fees to Shopify cover the cost of hosting and infrastructure, so technically you're still paying for it, but with the SaaS model, those fees are typically less, so fair point. Second, with Shopify Plus, you also don't need to worry about the time and cost of security patches and upgrades. Touché. Point conceded. You win this round completely, at least if you're comparing to open source platforms. Third, there's no need with Shopify Plus to worry about the last-minute stress of performance and load testing. I'm gonna have to disagree with you here, Shopify. Have you seen the Jeffree Star video that I did? I'll link it in the description if you want to watch that one, but I'll summarize it here for you. You're probably not going to see the overwhelming surge that Jeffree Star sees when he releases a product, but it proves that Shopify isn't infinitely scalable. If you're expecting a spike in traffic, do some performance and load testing. You never know what marketplace apps or theme inefficiencies are going to rear their ugly heads at scale. Don't listen to Shopify here. Test your crap out so that you have peace of mind that you're not going to lose sales at a critical time. The fourth thing that you no longer need with Shopify Plus is what has elicited outrage and the social media post that I was tagged in. With this bullet point, they claim that you no longer need retainer fees for consultants, system integrators, and developers. I like to think I'm a reasonable guy. And as such, I understand that there are 2 sides to every coin. Now let's look at both sides of this one. Let's examine this from an agency partner perspective, because I obviously have some insights there. But I also want to look at it from the platform's perspective. At the end of the video, after we get through both sides, I want to give you some related business advice that hopefully will help you out moving forward. At Jamerson, we aren't currently a Shopify partner, but we do partner with some e-commerce platforms, so I'm going to imagine that this was one of our partner platforms and how I would feel about it. We're partners of BigCommerce, and they have similar benefits to Shopify and could make pretty much the same claims that we're discussing here. So I'm going to imagine for a moment that this was posted on their website. From an agency perspective, this sucks. Like, what are you doing? I'm over here trying to make a living. I thought we were on the same team. Here you are trying to pull the rug out from under me. But you're literally telling your customers, who are my customers, that if they choose you, they don't need me. What kind of partnership is that? Partners are not supposed to try and make each other's jobs harder. We're supposed to be helping and supporting each other. If this is the messaging that you're going with in public for everyone to see, then I can only imagine how hard you're selling against your partners in private. I'd absolutely be dialing up Juan, my channel manager over at BigCommerce, to let him know my thoughts on it. I mean, I'm so hot, I want to call him now, and I'm just dealing with a hypothetical situation. Let's see. Juan's number is 561-350. You didn't think I was actually going to give you Juan's number, did you? But he probably wouldn't like that. That wouldn't be a good partner move, and we're trying to play the victim here in this scenario, so we have to be the good partner. Knowing that my partner's messaging is counter to my own best interest, how am I supposed to go out in the world and recommend that the merchants I encounter consider them? I know that I'm going to talk to a merchant. I'm going to tell them that Shopify Plus is a good fit for them. And the first thing they're going to do is see messaging that they don't need my services. And then that becomes a one-sided relationship and no longer actually functions as a partnership. I know some of you will say that it's not a big deal. It's just a blurb on a pricing page and no one will read it. You're welcome to that opinion. You'd be wrong, but you're welcome to it. That blurb sets expectations. It won't cost you every client that chooses the platform, but it does seed the thought in their mind that you and your services are expendable. True, not true, it doesn't matter. That's just bad form from a partner. If a partner that wasn't critical to my business did something like this, say a hosting provider or a payment gateway, that would be an immediate end to our partnership. I'd just pick a competitor and slot them in. I wouldn't even formally end the partnership. I'd just quit referring people to them. It's the same thing as if a partner isn't doing a good job with the referrals you send. I can't afford to have partners that are costing me business. I get that they're just trying to show the total cost of ownership is less than some competitors. However, the way that it's positioned could be read as a clue that Shopify doesn't value their agency partners. They know they're much more important to you than you are to them. There's numerous ways they could have positioned that to make the same point without directly attacking the entire agency model. But they did. There's not really a damn thing you can do about it, so I guess you just need to suck it up and get over it. Now that I've got you all riled up, simmer down for a minute and let's look at this from the other side before I tell you the business lessons in all of this mess. Ultimately, it's the merchant that pays Shopify and keeps them in business, not the agencies. That is where their loyalties lie, not with the community of service providers that have grown up around the platform. Sure, they like you guys, but you're second-class citizens compared with merchants, and that will always be the case. Keep that in mind. Just because you're second class doesn't mean you aren't valued. Of course, Shopify wants happy partners. Agency partners are key to their ecosystem, especially on the enterprise level with Shopify Plus. Without partners, this whole thing they're building falls apart. So with that in mind, there's no way they're saying you don't need an agency partner to use Shopify Plus. Just doesn't make sense. No. I think people are doing what people do and making a mountain out of a molehill. If you look at the context of this statement, I think it's just poorly worded, and we're reading way too much into it. Regardless, they still need to change it because if we're misreading it, then merchants are as well, and it's setting poor expectations. And Shopify must agree because before I could even shoot and edit this video, they've already removed the fourth bullet point. If you look at all four of the bullet points, they're all basically stating benefits over open source platforms. It's pretty much a direct shot at Magento and the pain points that some merchants feel on that platform. It's all technically focused. It's talking about the pain points of hosting and infrastructure and development costs. And I think this last point is trying to do that as well. They're saying that you don't need a retainer for development consultants and ongoing maintenance. They aren't trying to say that a merchant doesn't need the skills and experience of an agency to grow unless your agency only does development. In that case, they are pretty much saying that you suck and are irrelevant. Sorry about that, but in their world, it's kind of true, and the truth hurts sometimes. I think they could have easily clarified this by adding a single word. With Shopify Plus, you no longer need the retainer fees for technical consultants, system integrators, and developers. Boom! Point made. Everybody's happy. Well, except technical consultants and developers, but nobody cares about those guys anyway, right? Am I right? Before you technical folks start spamming me in the comments, well, it actually really helps this video if you comment, so go ahead and spam me. But I did want to clarify that I, too, am a developer and technical consultant, so I know it hurts a little. But we'll cry about it later after I'm off camera. There are some business lessons that I want you to take away from this, though. It's easy to get caught up in all of these platforms and technologies. We understand how they can help improve people's businesses and lives, and we spend every waking moment in that ecosystem drinking the Kool-Aid. It's easy to fall in love with them, to become true fans. That love can be blinding, though. You need to snap out of it and remember that these are businesses, and they're going to do what's best for their business, not you and your business. Sure, They value the partner ecosystem, but they don't value you as a partner unless you're bringing value to the table. If your business struggled tomorrow, they'd just slot someone else in without so much as a goodbye, and don't think they wouldn't. As a business and a partner, you need to be creating leverage as much as possible so that you have the upper hand in any partnership. If you're 100% dependent upon a partnership, then you're extremely vulnerable and have very few, if any, options in that relationship and absolutely no negotiating power. And this is not a knock on Shopify. It's all businesses and most definitely all e-commerce platforms. Your business will be much better off the sooner that you realize that it's not personal and your relationship is based on the value you bring, and as that changes, your business relationships change. There's no room for nostalgia if you want to be successful. You want to get mad because Shopify implies that agencies may not be useful? Heck, Magento has their own internal agency that sometimes does work for less per hour than I can afford to charge because they don't have that typical agency overhead. They completely cut out their enterprise hosting partners when they added their cloud offering and then changed their pricing to make it more expensive to host elsewhere. Is that fair? It doesn't matter. It's business, and they have all the leverage and are doing what's best for them and their customers. Fair doesn't play into it. So regardless of what platforms you support, you need to wake up and start playing the game by the same rules that the winners are playing by, or you're going to eventually get left behind. But what do I know? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And because I just gave you conflicting opinions, do not let my opinion be the only one that's heard. If you enjoyed this juicy e-commerce goodness, here's some more videos that you'll probably like. Go ahead and click on one of those because we're all done over here. And as I mentioned before, you might also consider subscribing because apparently 86% of you are not, and I'll see you next time.